Hey, we're back. Thank you all for tuning in. Guess what we're talking about this week? You know, what is love? That's why we're here. We're continuing our discussion. And this week, I want to ask you, okay, what is love? Why are you in love? When it comes to eventually making it official, what drives you to that point? What pushes you towards the direction to declare your love? To, I don't know, develop some sort of relationship status. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about relationship statuses, okay? Because what is that even all about? What does that really even mean? This person's mine, that person's mine. Can people really claim people? Come on now. That stuff is outdated, if you know what I mean. But it's a real topic of discussion, especially in this day and age, especially in the time we're living in now, where are people for relationships? Or are people for situationships? Or are people just in friendships with a little bit of something more? What is it? Because then in those kind of situations, ships, do you fall in love? Is it possible to be in love? Do you try to force yourself to not end up in love because you just want to stay friends and you just want to stay in your situation and you don't want to declare a specific status, or maybe you want to declare a specific status because you're claiming to be in love, but once again, what drives you to that point? And so we are diving in. We are talking about it, and I want to hear from you. Okay, let's figure this out. What is your status? What is love? Did you figure it out? Let me ask you a question. Okay, do you have any friends? How close are these friends? Okay. Do you have a specific friend that you're close to? How close are you to this friend? Okay. Would you say this friend is your man friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your woman friend? Okay. But is it your best friend? The reason why I'm asking all of these friend kind of relationships is because that's where it always began, right? You meet person, girl meets guy, guy meets girl. You want to be friends, trying to figure out if you want to stay friends, if you want to take it further. It always starts like this. You're always in this kind of status, right? But then my question is, what is friendship then? Is friendship just an entanglement affair? Because it could be nothing, and then it turns into something, and then it's not really anything, right, at the same time. But then there are some people that like to take it a step further. And then they say, oh, I'm falling in love. I'm head over heels. But was that their initial intent to begin with? Did they begin their friendship with the intent to fall in love? Because then you weren't really friends. You're dating, okay? And you can't really date your friend, can you? I don't know. That's why we're talking about it. I want to hear from you. I want to understand this whole friendship, situationship, relationship thing. What creates something to become a status? Does it depend on the time you spend with them? Is that what it is? I don't know. Do you? Let's talk about it. I want to talk about situationships today, okay? Because when I hear situationship, I think of like a situation. But I think of it like there must be a problem, right? But nowadays, the situationship usually consists of like you're in this entanglement with this guy, and you're like, it's a little like more than just like, a hello and goodbye, more than acquaintance. You might be intimate with them, whatever the case may be, and then you're not really like falling in love, but like you don't want to be in love, and then the one person might end up in love, and you're just like, maybe I'm not ready for that, and maybe that's what creates the situation. There always is one side that wants more, and then the situation begins. So my question is, what's the difference between a friendship? What's the difference between a friendship versus a situationship? And then what is the difference between a relationship, a friendship, a situationship? Because aren't they all relationships? Because a relationship can consist of anything. For example, the relationship between a parent and their child, the relationship between a classmate and another classmate, the relationship between a coworker and her superior or her inferiors, and whoever you communicate with. Isn't there some sort of relationship, even if it's surface level? So, we're defining relationship now, are we? That's what my question is. So, let's dive in, talk about it, post about it, because I want to hear from you. And from what you post, I want to keep discussing it, right? Because we're all in this together. Let's go. When we talk about relationships, this topic sometimes is heavy for people because some, they don't want to be in a relationship because they don't want to be tied down. Some, they want a relationship because they want that person to belong to them, right? They want to claim them. They want to feel that they matter to that other individual, right? And I guess this is more so specified under the relationship between friends that are a little bit more than just friends. You know, another thing that you could kind of define that kind of situation is, I've heard someone use this term before, a special friend. What do you think about that? How are we defining one another? And should we define one another? I can't think we should not define one another because I'm me and that person is he. We don't need to define anything. We can just continue to enjoy one another, can't we? That's what I'm asking. And I want to inquire further with you, and I want you to be 100% honest with how you feel about being in a relationship versus not being in a relationship, and if there is even a point of declaring a relationship, because how many of you even declare that you are officially friends with someone, when you first meet them, even if someone with the same gender? You're dumb. You just continue to spend time with them, and then, oh yeah, that's my friend. So why are we declaring stuff? Is it necessary? Just enjoy life. Enjoy one another. That's what I say. What do you say? Curious. Are you? A thought had come to mind as we were discussing about differences between situationships and friendships and relationships and things of that matter. And my thought was dating. We'll discuss this at another time in more detail, but I heard that when it comes to dating, they start off saying, oh, let's just first become friends. That is true, because that's where everything begins. But why is it such a thing to declare? Once again, is my question, is what I'm trying to understand. Because if you're dating someone, you just spend time with them. Don't make it feel like you're forcing some sort of relationship, and even if it's just a friendship, it doesn't feel natural. Something that's natural shouldn't be declared. You know what I mean? Nobody declares you're my kid. You're just your kid. That initial bond from the beginning. And when you need to declare it, but it's just there naturally, right? Same way with someone that you're close with, or you share a special relationship with. You don't need to declare that. It's just there. You're cool. You're friends. You have a special bond, whatever the case may be. And sometimes there's more, sometimes there's not. It just really depends on, how you are with each other. And I just don't think that things that are natural need a declaration. Things that are natural don't need to be put into a specific status or defined or titled. This is mine, that's mine. Naturally, if it's yours, it's yours. Naturally, if it's there, it's there. Naturally, if it exists, let it exist. What is love? That's why we're doing this, and that's why we're asking this. But I think love should be something natural. And I think the reason why it becomes crazy or I don't know, confusing is because people force it. They force the want, the desire, the bond. But if it's there, it's there. And if it's not, it's not. If it exists, it exists. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. If you know you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But like I said, if it's there, whether you realize it or not. Shouldn't that be how we should look at love when it comes to these kind of ships that we board? Right? I don't know. What do you think? Because if we're forcing something, then it's not real. If we're forcing something, it doesn't really exist. It's a figment of our imagination because we're forcing it to be there. Oh! But why do we do this to something that's so magnetic? Magnet only happens naturally, right? And it's not necessarily whether something is polar or negative or positive, whatever the case may be. But like I said, if it's natural, in my opinion. But what's yours? So, I want to hear about it. Let's dive in. The last thing that I'd like to leave you with is this question. If something is real, should it be forced? Whether it's a friendship, a situationship, a relationship, love should not be forced. And so consider this when you're getting onto these ships, when you're thinking that you need to declare something, because I don't think something natural needs to be declared. It's just there, and you enjoy it, and you feel it. What do you think? If it's to be declared, it's declared, but it shouldn't be forced. So, what does this look like for you? What is love to you? And should relationships even be a thing? What is your thought? Let's keep talking about it. Enjoy your weekend, okay? Let's go.